smoked Nashville hot chicken. Oh my, you're in for a treat today.
And that's why you record things.
Hey, I'm James from Smoking Dad Barbecue, and today you're in for a treat because we're doing something special on our Kamado Joe. We are setting it up to perform like a drum smoker. So no divide and conquer, no heat deflectors. We are cooking over direct coals, and to pull this off, I'm using a meat hook that is suspended from our control tower top. I tried this method from Malcolm Reed the first time using beef tip to make some, or beef rib to make some beef rib burnt ends, and they came out amazing. I was really impressed with the extra smoke and flavor that I got being able to use this method to cook direct over a small but clean burning hot fire. And the number one comment you guys had in there to do next was chicken. And I thought, why not crank up the heat a little bit midsummer and go for a full Nashville hot chicken? So that's exactly what we're doing today. So the game plan for today's cook is to cook direct over the coals. So to do that, I'm starting with an empty charcoal basket or just a little bit of leftover coal. I've cleaned everything out, and I'm adding one piece of smoking wood. Today I'm going to use peach since I don't want to overpower the chicken. I just want to get a little bit of subtle smoke flavor. I'm going to cover that with some of the leftover pieces of coal and add a few more pieces of big block just till I can't see that piece of smoking wood anymore. Using my grill torch, I'm going to try and concentrate the fire front and center so we're getting nice ashed over coals really quickly so we can get to cooking once our grill comes up to temperature. I'm going to leave all the vents open, bottom and top, until the grill starts to pass the hand test. That lets me know that the ceramic is hot, and I'm going to unlock the radiant heat that's going to join our convection heat source for today's cook. And we are skipping out on the normal 3 heat sources that I talk about, which would be our conduction, so our surface, convection we're going to use, the hot air, and our radiant heat, which is coming from the dome. And we're going to have that bird suspended right up near close. Now, some of you might be asking, why hang the bird by the thighs as I'm doing today versus from the breast? Don't you want that dark meat nice and close to the coals? And something that surprised me, I guess it shouldn't, it's science, but when I did the beef rib burnt end video, it's just how well done the very top portion was versus the bottom. And that's because that hot air is racing towards the negative pressure outside wanting to escape, which is how our heat pump works inside the Kamado Joe. And just as a quick point of reference, since I have my meter probe installed vertically pointing right up to the top, it's reading 350 degrees, even though the dome temperature is reading just maybe a tick over 315 to 320. So that's definitely confirming the science, is that that heat, even though our breast is exposed towards the coals, is hottest right near the exhaust vent. And I think that's what's going to help get our thighs and our dark meat to come out even and done at the same time. That's the game plan anyways. Let me tell you a little bit more about how we're going to season this bird and pull off the perfect Nashville hot. So since Nashville hot chicken has started exploding in popularity, there are a bunch of pre-made rubs as well as sauces. But today we're going to make our own rub as well as our sauce. So for the rub, I'll put everything up on the screen just in case I forget any of the ingredients, but it's very simple. Like all great rubs, it starts with the same 3 ingredients, which is salt, pepper, garlic. From there, we want to add a little bit of red color to make it look like that signature Nashville hot. So I'm using some smoked paprika along with some cayenne pepper, and we're going to throw in a little bit of chipotle for good measure. I have a spare shaker. Every time you run out of one, don't throw it out, save it for mixes just like today. We can go ahead and mix that up. And before we throw it on our bird, I want a little bit of a binder to help that rub adhere to the meat. And so no better here than using something like a duck fat spray, which is going to not only be a binder, but add a little bit of fat, which should help crisp up our chicken skin. I'll rejoin you inside a little bit later on when it's time to make up the sauce. But first, let's get this bird on the grill. Okay, our Kamado Joe Classic 3 is all up to temperature. So while I can handle this without the raw chicken on it, let me show you how we're going to connect the meat hook to our control tower top. So this is the end I'm going to loop through underneath to come out the opening here, and our pointed end will be going through the 2 chicken thighs, which I've tied together with some extra butcher twine to make sure that it holds together for today's cook. Let me show you what that'll look like. Just open up our dome here. I'm going to reach in with the hook and just scoop through. Just like that. it'll come out the top, and that'll allow us to be nice and centered over our fire. Okay, so let's grab a probe so we can keep track of the chicken. And since this end is going to be down towards the fire, I'm going to hang here. I'm going to put my meter probe in the rear of the breast towards the front so that the end tip is not just sitting right down in the coals and potentially giving us false readings. The other thing we could do is go side to side, but for right now, I'm just going to find my mark here. And that looks good to me. Let's get our meat hook, slide right through the legs here, and install this into our Kamado. And that's why you record. Okay, let's hang this off our control tower top now. That looks good. Don't know if you can see that. Let's let that hang. So now that we've got the bird on the grill is holding steady, about 315 degrees on the dome. I'm seeing just shy of 350 degrees using the meter app where I've got the probe installed right towards the top vent. So we're just gonna let that hang out, literally hang out until we see close to that 165, 170 degree temperature, and I'll check the thighs and other parts of the breast to make sure that we're fully done. But while we're waiting for our bird to cook, it's the perfect time to put together our sauce. So let me take you back inside while we mix that up. All right, our Nashville Hot chicken is looking amazing. So we're about 10, 15 degrees away from it being finished, and the rain's just starting to move in. So I'm gonna let this finish up and I'll rejoin you under the protection of the pergola when it is time to plate this up and get ready for our taste test. See you in about 5 to 10 minutes. Well, the outdoor kitchen may not be done yet, but it's going to serve as some great protection from the rain. Let me bring you nice and close while we shred up our Nashville Hot chicken, mix in our sauce, and build our sandwich. So the color on our bird came out looking amazing. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just gonna transfer it into a tinfoil pan, shred it up, mix in some sauce. I'll take you fast forward. Okay, this is looking great. Let's get our sandwich built. Just got some blue cheese down on. Get a little bit of our Nashville Hot pulled chicken on top here. Some cabbage and some pickles. It's looking pretty. Let's taste it. All right, our sandwich looks amazing. I can't wait to see if it tastes half as good as it looks. Let's dig in. I was just about to say, it's not too hot. We got a creeper. It's one of those eats that's still building, and I absolutely love that about Nashville Hot. Glasses are fogging up. This was a really fun cook. Everything from the meat hook, just to get that smoke wood burning clean, the drippings hitting the charcoal, to building our own sauce and rub. This came together incredibly quick and is packing a bunch of flavor. So I'm gonna wrap up and go start dabbing up some of the sweat that's accumulating on my forehead. But before I leave you, if you liked this video, please let YouTube know and smash that thumbs up button, and let me know by hitting subscribe to catch future videos. Until next time, I'm James from Smoking Dad Barbecue, signing off.